Beyond the camera's gaze and across the invisible lines of history lies the untold truth. Prepare to witness the extraordinary events and pivotal moments that fundamentally reshaped our modern world.
Hold up, where are you going? Inside. No, this isn't the place for your type to linger. What does that mean? You don't belong here. People like you don't belong in places like this. I own this hotel. You expect me to believe a hotel like this belongs to you? You're not getting in. Get out.
A man in a tailored suit steps toward the entrance of a five-star hotel. Polished marble floor, glass doors reflecting the city skyline. Valet attendants, moving with precision. Guests walking in and out with quiet confidence. It's the kind of place where everything feels expensive, controlled, exclusive, and for most people, intimidating. But for him, it's just another day, until it isn't. Because before he even reaches the door, a hand shoots out in front of him, stopping him cold. "Hold up." The voice is sharp, unwelcoming. The man pauses, looks up slowly. Standing in front of him is hotel security, mid-40s, arms crossed, expression already made up. Not curious, not neutral, judgmental. From the very first second. "You can't go in there," the guard says. The man blinks slightly, confused but calm. "I'm sorry?" "I said you can't go in." The man glances past him. Guests continue walking in freely. No one else stopped. No one else questioned. Just him. "Is there a problem?" the man asks. The guard steps slightly closer, lowering his voice but not his tone. "Yeah, there is." He gestures toward the man. "This isn't really a place for you." The air tightens. The man studies him. "Excuse me?" The guard shrugs. "You should probably head somewhere else." "On what basis?" the man asks. The guard smirks. "Come on." We both know. Silence. People begin to slow down. Watching. Listening. Because something about this feels wrong. The man keeps his voice steady. "No, we don't." "So explain it." The guard exhales, already irritated. "Look, I'm trying to help you out." "Help me?" "Yeah, before you embarrass yourself." That lands, but the man doesn't react. Not outwardly. "I'm not embarrassed," he says calmly. "You should be," the guard replies. Then, he leans in slightly. "This is a luxury hotel." "I'm aware." "Then act like it." "I am." "No," the guard says. "You're not." A few people stop completely now. A phone lifts. Recording. Because now, this is no longer normal. "This doesn't make any sense," the man says. "I just need to go inside." The guard shakes his head. "No, that's not happening." "And why exactly is that?" the man asks. The guard pauses, then says it. Flat. Clear. "You don't belong here." The words hit differently. Heavier. Louder. Even without shouting. The man's expression tightens slightly. "My name is—" "I don't care what your name is," the guard cuts in. "You're not going in." The man studies him carefully now. "You're making a mistake." The guard laughs. Short. Dismissive. "No. I've seen this before." "Seen what?" "People like you trying to walk into places like this." There it is. The shift. The line that changes everything. "People like me?" the man asks. The guard nods. "Yeah, your kind." A woman near the entrance stops completely now. Phone raised. Recording. The man takes a slow breath. "You need to be careful with what you're saying." The guard scoffs. "Oh, please. Don't start playing victim. I'm asking you to explain yourself." The guard crosses his arms. "My explanation is simple. This place has standards, and you don't meet them." Silence. Heavy. Uncomfortable. The man looks down briefly at his suit, then back up. "Which standard exactly?" The guard doesn't hesitate. "All of them." A murmur spreads through the crowd, because now, everyone understands what's happening. The man's voice lowers. "You're profiling me." "No," the guard snaps. "I'm doing my job." "No," the man replies calmly. You're making assumptions. The guard steps closer again, irritated now. No. I'm preventing a problem. What problem? The guard leans in, voice low. The kind where you walk in there. He gestures toward the lobby and start taking things that don't belong to you. A few people gasp quietly. The man's eyes narrow slightly. I'm not here to steal anything. The guard shrugs. That's what you people always say? The words land hard, ugly, unfiltered. And now, there's no hiding it, no pretending, no misunderstanding. The man stands still, letting the moment breathe, letting the cameras capture everything. Then the guard adds, "You expect me to believe a place like this belongs to your kind?" The silence that follows is immediate, because now, it's undeniable. This isn't about rules. This isn't about policy. This is about something else entirely. Before we dive in, comment which country you're watching from. Let's see how far this documentary travels. Because what's happening at this hotel entrance right now isn't just a misunderstanding. It's the moment assumptions turn into accusations, and a man is being denied entry, not because of who he is, but because of what someone else thinks he is. And the security guard standing in front of him still has no idea that the man he just called unfit is the owner of the entire hotel. And in the next few minutes, everything is about to change. The guard steps back slightly, but only to reposition himself, still blocking the entrance and still standing between the man and the door. "You need to leave," he says firmly. "I'm not leaving," the man replies. "Then you're not going in. That's not your decision to make." The guard laughs again. It is today. More people are watching now, phones fully raised. Because now, this is escalating. "I'm going to ask you one last time," the guard says. "Turn around and walk away." The man doesn't move. "I'm here on business." The guard shakes his head. "No. You're here causing a problem." "I haven't done anything." "You're doing it right now." The tension rises. Thicker, heavier, more dangerous. The man takes a step forward. Not aggressive. Just enough. The guard immediately reacts. Hand up, stopping him again. "Don't." "I'm not here to argue with you," the man says. "Then stop acting like you belong here." The words hit again. Just as hard. The man looks him directly in the eyes. "I do belong here." The guard leans in slightly, voice colder now. "No, you don't." Another pause. Then, "You're unfit for a place like this." That word. Unfit. It lands differently. Personal, deliberate, designed to humiliate. The crowd reacts again. More whispers. More phones. Because now, it's gone too far. And the man, still calm, still composed, still standing there like he knows something the guard doesn't. Because he does. And in the next moment, everything is about to shift. But the guard, he's not done. Not even close. And what he says next pushes this situation past the point of no return. The glass doors slide open. Smooth. Silent. But the shift they bring is anything but. The suited man from inside steps out quickly. Mid-50s. Sharp suit. Earpiece. Authority in every movement. Not confused. Not hesitant. Focused. Direct. His eyes lock onto the scene immediately. The guard. The crowd. The phones. Then, the man standing in front of him. And everything about his expression changes. "Sir," the word comes out fast. Respectful. Urgent. The guard frowns. Confused. "Hold on," he says, stepping slightly in front again. "Sir, you can't move." The tone is calm, but final. The kind of voice that doesn't repeat itself. The guard hesitates. Just for a second. "Do you know what's going on here?" he asks. The suited man doesn't even look at him. His attention stays locked on the man in front of him. "Yes." That one word changes everything. The guard blinks. You do? Yes. A small pause. Then, and you're the problem. Silence. Immediate. Heavy. The crowd reacts instantly. Whispers spreading. Phones lifting higher. The guard stiffens. What? The suited man finally turns his head. Looks directly at him. Cold. Measured. You stopped him? Yes, the guard says, defensive now. I'm doing my job. No, the suited man replies. You're not. The guard's jaw tightens. He doesn't belong here. That's when it happens. The suited man's expression hardens. Not confusion. Not surprise. Recognition. Clear. Sharp. You just said that? He asks. Yes, the guard replies. Confident. Still. Even now. I told him. You told him he doesn't belong here? The suited man cuts in. The guard nods. Exactly. A pause. Then, the suited man takes a step aside, clearing the doorway. Completely. And gestures toward the entrance. Not at the crowd. Not at anyone else. At the man. Sir, he says respectfully. You can come in. The guard freezes. What? The man doesn't move yet. He just watches. Because now, the shift has begun. And it's exactly what he expected. What are you doing? The guard asks. I just told him he's not allowed. And I'm telling you, the suited man replies calmly, that he is. The guard shakes his head. No. No, he's not. You don't get to override me. The suited man looks at him again. Really looks this time. You think this is about you? He asks. The guard frowns. This is my post. I decide who comes in and out. Another pause. Then, the suited man says something that lands like impact. No, you don't. Silence. The crowd leans in, because now, everything is about to flip. The guard laughs nervously. Look, I don't know who you think you are. That's the problem, the suited man replies. You don't. The guard's confidence starts to crack. Just slightly. But it's there now. Visible. What are you talking about? He asks. The suited man steps closer, lowering his voice, but making sure it's still heard. Do you know who you just stopped? The guard hesitates, then shakes his head. No, I don't. The suited man nods once. Exactly. Then, he turns toward the man again, straightens his posture, and speaks clearly, loud enough for everyone to hear. Welcome back, sir. The words hit. Different. Heavy. Loaded. Because now, there's no misunderstanding. The guard's face changes. Confusion turning into realization. Slow. Uncomfortable. What do you mean, welcome back? He asks. The suited man doesn't answer him. Instead, he gestures again toward the entrance. Your office is ready. Another pause. The meeting has been waiting on you. The crowd reacts immediately. Whispers. Gasps. Phones tilting closer. Zooming in. Because now, the story is breaking open. The guard shakes his head. No. No, that doesn't make sense. The man finally speaks. Calm. Controlled. You should have checked. The same words. But now, they mean something else entirely. The guard looks at him. Really looks this time. Not judging. Not assuming. Trying to understand. Trying to process. Checked what? He asks again. The man reaches into his jacket. Pulls out the wallet. Opens it fully this time. And holds it up. Not quickly. Not aggressively. Just enough. The suited man steps slightly aside, giving the guard a clear view. And this time, there's no confusion, no doubt, no misreading it, because what's inside that wallet is official, clear, undeniable, ownership documentation, executive credentials, the name, the position, the authority. The guard's eyes widen. His mouth opens, slightly. But no words come out. Because now, everything he said, everything he assumed, everything he believed, is collapsing in real time. You expect me to believe? The man cuts him off. Quiet. Calm. You already said what you believe. Silence. The guard steps back. Just one step. But it's enough. Enough to show it. The shift. The loss of control. You're the owner? He asks. The man doesn't rush the answer. Doesn't raise his voice. Doesn't change his tone. He just says, yes. That's it. One word. But it hits harder than anything else. The crowd reacts. Louder now. Because the truth is out. Fully. Completely. Unavoidable. The suited man nods respectfully. This entire property, he adds, belongs to him. The guard shakes his head again, still trying to process it. I didn't know. That's the problem, the man replies. You didn't know. A pause, then, and you didn't try to. The guard looks down briefly, then back up. Everything about him has changed now. The confidence is gone, replaced with something else. Regret. Real. Visible. I was just doing my job, he says. The man tilts his head slightly. No. You were profiling. Silence. Heavy. Because now, there's no arguing it. No denying it. No escaping it. The cameras caught everything. The words. The tone. The assumptions. The humiliation. All of it. The suited man steps forward again. Voice firm now. Sir, would you like us to handle this immediately? The question hangs there. Because now, this isn't just about the moment anymore. It's about consequences. Real ones. The man looks at the guard one last time. Then back at the entrance. Then at the crowd. Phones still raised. Recording. Watching. Waiting. Then he says quietly, yes. A small pause. We will. And if you're enjoying this documentary so far, like and subscribe. Because what happens next isn't just about who was right at this hotel entrance. It's about what happens when power, truth, and accountability finally collide. The silence that follows feels different. Not tense anymore. Heavy. Final. The kind of silence that comes after the truth has already landed. The guard stands there. Still. Frozen in place. Because there's nowhere left to stand. No position left to defend. Everything he said, every assumption, every word, is now sitting in front of him. Exposed. The suited manager turns slightly, already shifting into action. Professional. Efficient. Security control, this is front entrance, he says into his radio. His tone is calm, but firm. I need a supervisor at the main doors immediately. The guard looks up, eyes widening slightly. Wait, hold on, he says quickly. But it's too late. The call has already gone through. And now, this is no longer something that can be brushed off. A few seconds pass. But they feel longer. Because everyone is watching. The crowd hasn't moved. Phones still raised. Recording every second. The man, the owner, adjusts his jacket slightly. Composed, unaffected. Like this is just another situation he's seen before. But his eyes, still sharp, still aware. Because this isn't just about him anymore. It's about what just happened, and what it means. The guard finally speaks again. Voice lower now, less certain. I didn't know, he repeats. The owner looks at him, calm. But you assumed. That hits harder than anything else. Because it's true. No yelling. No anger. Just truth. And that makes it worse. The glass doors open again. This time, 2 more staff members step out. A supervisor. And another member of security. Both alert. Both serious. What's going on? The supervisor asks. But before anyone else can answer, the manager speaks. This security officer denied entry to the owner of this property. The words land immediately. Clear, direct, no room for interpretation. The supervisor's head turns sharply, eyes locking onto the guard, then to the owner, then back again. "You're serious?" he asks quietly. "Yes." The supervisor exhales slowly, then steps forward. "Sir," he says respectfully to the owner, I apologize." The owner nods once, acknowledging, but not dismissing, because apology isn't enough here. Not anymore. The supervisor turns back to the guard. "What exactly happened?" he asks. The guard hesitates, looking around, at the crowd, at the cameras, and at the man, then back at his supervisor. "I thought—" He stops, because even he hears how that sounds now. "I thought," he tries again, "that he didn't belong here." Silence. The supervisor's expression hardens. "You thought." The same word. But now, it carries weight, responsibility, consequences. "You didn't verify anything?" the supervisor asks. "No." "You didn't ask for identification?" The guard shakes his head slowly. "No." "You didn't call it in?" Another shake. "No." The supervisor exhales again, longer this time, then says quietly, "Step aside." The guard doesn't move immediately, like his body hasn't caught up to what's happening yet. "Now," the supervisor adds. The guard steps back. Finally. For the first time since this started. He's no longer blocking the door. The path is clear. The owner looks at the entrance, then steps forward. Slow. Controlled. No rush. No reaction to the crowd. No acknowledgement of the cameras. Just movement. Forward. As he passes the guard, he pauses. Just for a second. Not turning fully. But enough. "You said I didn't belong here," he says quietly. The guard says nothing. "You said I was unfit." Still nothing. The owner nods slightly, then finishes the thought for him. "This place exists because of me." The words are simple, but absolute. And there's nothing left to argue, nothing left to say. He steps past him, through the doors, into the hotel, the space that was always his. The crowd reacts immediately. Whispers, voices, a few people shaking their heads. One person says, "He really said you're kind." Another, "This is going everywhere." Phones lower slightly, but not off. Because now, the story is bigger than the moment. The supervisor turns back to the guard. Voice firm, controlled. "You're done for today." The guard looks up. "What?" "Turn in your badge." The words hit instantly. "What? No, wait." He starts. But the supervisor doesn't argue. Doesn't explain. "You'll be contacted by HR." The guard's face shifts. Panic replacing denial. "Sir, please," he says. "I was just trying to—" "Stop." One word. Firm. Final. "You weren't doing your job." The guard swallowed. Hard. Because now, it's real. "I didn't mean—" "It doesn't matter what you meant," the supervisor replies. "It matters what you did." Silence. Heavy again. The guard looks around. At the people. At the cameras. At the place he was just controlling minutes ago. And now, he's not in control of anything. The second security officer steps forward, gently but firmly guiding him aside. Not aggressively, but clearly. It's over. The supervisor adjusts his jacket, then turns back toward the entrance. Composure returning. Control restored. Because the hotel keeps moving. Guests continue walking in and out. Valet resumes. Doors open and close. Like nothing happened. But something did. And everyone knows it. And learned the hard way. Just how wrong they were. Inside, the owner walks across the marble floor. Staff standing straighter as he passes. Eyes following him. Not out of curiosity, but respect. Because now, the truth has settled. And the lesson? It's clear. Not spoken loudly. Not written anywhere. But understood. Assumptions have consequences. Bias has consequences. And the moment you decide who someone is, without knowing anything about them, is the moment everything can fall apart. Outside, the crowd slowly disperses, phones still buzzing, videos already uploading. Because what happened here isn't staying here. It's spreading. Fast. And somewhere, that same guard who stood at the door, so confident, so certain, is now sitting alone, replaying every word he said, every assumption he made, every moment he thought he was right, realizing one thing too late. He didn't just block a man from entering a hotel. He blocked his own future. Because here's the real question. If the cameras weren't there, if no one recorded it, would anything have changed? Or would he have gotten away with it? Tell me in the comments. Was this just doing his job? Or clear profiling? And be honest, would you have stepped in or stayed silent? The end.
Behind every single piece of data lies a complex and fascinating narrative. And within every narrative, there is a hidden truth striving to be brought to light. We genuinely appreciate you being here to uncover it with us today.